Hey YouTube, just got this in. This is a Westfield stratocaster, which are very common in the central belt of Scotland because I believe they're a Scottish company and they're from East Kilbride, was a distributor. Not saying they're made in Scotland, that would be really nice if they were, but they're not. It'll be Chinese, I would imagine, or Indonesian or Korean or something. There's no indication, there's no serial numbers, and there's no made in anywhere. But a fairly decent small strat. Always need a little bit of tweaking. I got this in here. I took it in as a trade against what I said last week was the best beginner guitar, which was the Yamaha ERG 121. You can buy. I kind of chose that one because they're quite easy to find and they're cheap. Well, they're sub £100, and you see them all the time on eBay and stuff like that. Quite a lot of the time, if you're looking on eBay, they're pick up only as well. So because there's so many of them, there's a chance that you might be able to find one that's like, within 10 miles, so you can just go and pick it up, not have to pay 20 quid postage. The 20 quid postage doesn't make as much of an impact if you're buying a £300 guitar, £20 postage, but if you're only paying 50, 60 quid for it, that's a fair chunk of it. So Stevie Ray Vaughan type Strat, I suppose, or Buddy Holly or whatever, kind of like a 70s Strat. These have got black scratch plates rather than white. Quite easy to buy another scratch plate on eBay. I think they're about 7 quid, something like that. You could get a white scratch plate if you really wanted. I think you could probably buy the entire lot for about 15, where you get the scratch plate wired, and all you have to do is connect 2 wires to the output jack and 1 wire to the bridge for the earth wire. But that involves soldering. Even though it's pretty easy to solder, if you're going to do that, what you want to do is see the wire, put solder on the wire, and then put solder on the thing that you're going to be attaching the wire to, and then put the two together and join them with the soldering iron. Don't just be sitting there holding a bare wire onto a piece of metal trying to pour solder on it, because that doesn't work. That's basically the only soldering tip I've really got apart from practicing doing it. I would maybe even suggest sitting there and just practice wiring. Get a pot, an old pot or something like that, and just some old speaker cable, and practice just putting solder onto the cable and soldering it onto the pot, and then taking it off, cleaning it, doing it again, and just until you're good at it. For 10 minutes, and then after that you'll be fine. So these come with, I'm trying to do this video short. I'm already too. I've not even played a chord yet. Yeah. So Westfield got decent tuners. The sealed type, quite a slim neck. The days of guitars being, cheap guitars being really shite's kind of gone. I mean, I don't think Westfield are still going, so this is, you're really talking, I think Westfield, you may be talking up to about 20 years old, something like that. But I think even by the time you got to that point, you didn't really get the utter garbage that you used to get before that. I mean, when I was starting to play the guitar, which was 20 years ago, you'd look at second-hand Strats and it'd be awful, So, my advice, as with all these things, is if you're buying this as your first guitar, which is probably quite likely, it's unlikely you're going to have, 10 guitars, Gibsons and Fenders and stuff, and buy a Westfield Strat, unless you're just doing it as a sort of project to practice altering things, modifying it, buying a stupid coloured scratch plate, put humbuckers and all that stuff in it. But basically this one works pretty well. I did have to adjust it a little bit. So I'm just really going to do a wee demo of what it sounds like. So I'm cheating a little bit because I'm playing through like a £400 amp that's even playing through an even bigger speaker cabinet. So this will sound better than it would if it was into what most people would be using, which would be like a 10 watt practice amp or plugging it into their phone or something, So it's going to sound a bit better than that. Sorry, that was the horrible sound. That's the bridge pickup, which is plenty sharp. I'm just using the amp, no effects on. There's pedals there, but none of them are on, they're all bypassed. So the crap sound, and then you get this position 2, which is your Mark Knopfler. Sounds fantastic, this guitar. Middle pickup, which just this one on its own. Apparently Eric Clapton uses it, I never do. Sounds alright. Position 4, another good one. So you get that sort of vocal quality to it, which you don't tend to get when it's got a pickup on its own. And then neck pickup, which is nice, good for lead. But guitar, decent. Pickups sound good. They're nice and loud. If anything, they're maybe slightly on the brighter edge of the spectrum, but you've got tone controls. Okay, too much. But getting rid of brightness is dead easy on your amp. You know, it's just a case of turning the treble down a wee bit. I wouldn't. I like it. I like the sound. So probably going to be a beginner's guitar. You're banging it, so I'll play some sort of beginnery cowboy chords, which are chords down here. So your G, D, G and D and A. That sounds pretty good. So you could write a song on that. I was walking down the road. So I told, yeah. So if you're a beginner, then it plays all these chords, no problem. Relatively slim neck. There's not really much to say about it, really. I'll just have a wee. I'll put on my drums, and then just use my loop pedal here. So the chords. Stop the chords. Turn off the drums. Session 4. Rat pedal distortion. Neck pickup is always good for. Well, the neck pickup sounds good when you play up above the 12. You guys are. Bridge pickup on its own doesn't sound too bad with distortion as well. Yeah, so try to keep this down to 10 minutes. Might be some people on here that don't actually know me because you're looking up. I'm actually doing a review of a guitar that actually other people probably have, rather than being one of the obscure things that most of my videos are, like the Japanese ones and stuff like that, where if you look them up online, you pretty much see pictures of me. I find that with a lot of guitars. If I'm looking up, oh, is it? You know, if you type in Westone Concord H2, which is what that yellow one is, you'll probably just get if you look up images, you'll probably see on the first page there'll be a picture of me in a YouTube video playing it. I actually did that 10.5 minutes. I'm not going to stop anyway, sorry, you can turn it off. I was talking to a guy last night on Facebook and they were asking what I was talking about, Washburn stage series, and says, what does that look like? So I'll look through my photos and see if I can find a photo one. I thought, no, sorry, so I just typed in the Washburn A10 into Google Images, and then, you know, 6th picture along was me standing playing it. I was like, there we go. It was an awful lot quicker than actually looking through my photos to try and find a photo. So this one should be a bit different. I'm not sure there'll be that many reviews of like a Westfield as well, because there's a cheaper range. I think these maybe new are somewhere between 100 and 150, 120, 119 quid, something like that. But if it's set up, it plays fine. I might do an even shorter video of advice about buying a guitar like this. Yeah, rock on!